Start off at the top, and this is also referred to as a myth and reality page. There's a lot of myths and realities as far as the recruiting process is concerned for high school student athletes. I'm going to cover the majority of those right now for you. You'll see there at the top, the recruiting process started yesterday. Myth: recruiting begins when you are contacted by a college coach during your junior or senior year of high school. Reality: according to the NCAA, college coaches are starting to identify 7th and 8th graders as recruits, and even starting to offer scholarships to prospects before their freshman year of high school. Example: Ty Willingham of the University of Washington last year offered an 8th grader a full-ride scholarship. Most recently in the news, which most of you are aware about, Lane Kiffin, who was the coach of Tennessee, who's taken that USC coach's position, has offered a 7th grader a full-ride scholarship. So this is proof in the pudding, and there's no greater time for Aim High's expansion to be growing like it is, and for folks like yourselves to be getting involved with Aim High to represent us in markets nationwide, because the recruiting process is expanding daily, monthly, yearly. So there's no greater time for us to be getting involved in the business and attacking it in the angles that we are, and really, we're changing the way that high school student-athlete recruiting is done. Advice: download and study the guide for the college-bound student-athlete. Start building relationships with college coaches now. And that form is simply found on ncaa.org. It's just a website, and you'll see right there where they can go on. They can download a copy of that. That is going to be an essential piece of information, because it's going to break down all the rules, regulations, guidelines, contact periods, things done at different years: freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Everything, every question yourselves are ever going to want to know, the families are ever going to want to know, and the student athletes are going to want to know, as far as rules, regulations, and guidelines are concerned, are going to be covered within that manual that they can find, once again, ncaasports.org. Lists. A relationship with a coach will get you put on a list. You need to get your name on as many lists as possible. 84% of D1 prospects are identified by the end of their sophomore year, according to a recent college coach survey. I want to talk about lists for a minute. A lot of us are familiar with select travel ball and AAU and the camps and the combines and all the things that happen in those summer periods. Understand this: when a coach from a university is planning on attending a particular camp, combine, AAU game, whatever the case may be, they're not there to start their own recruiting process. They're not there to just hopefully find someone and stumble upon some great talent. They have a list and a sheet of paper of athletes that they're already coming to see. How do you get on those lists? With a program like Aim High Incorporated. We give you the tools and the things to get yourself that exposure, to start getting on the list, so that when a student athlete's involved in some select baseball, travel baseball, AAU, football combines, football camps, basketball camps, softball, volleyball, whatever the case may be, they're starting to get on those lists so that they're seen by those coaches that are attending those different events. So getting on lists is extremely important. Time is very valuable to not only our families and our athletes, but it's as equally valuable to the coaches at the next level. There's only so much time in a day. There's only so many athletes they can, evaluate and review. We help you get on those lists. College coaches evaluate prospects online. The day of delivering paper resumes and everything else and letters are done. That time period's over, that era is over. With the advancement of technology, with the services that Aim High has been able to put together, with its website, with all the tools, its complete resource center, its complete profiles, the ability to forward those profiles to everyone all over the country, the coaches can start evaluating all of Aim High's athletes online, and that's really the way that it's done. And having all of the information online and being able to talk about the athletic history, academic, clubs, camps, combines, all the information as far as game film, game footage, mission statements, personal statements, to build each and every athlete and to be able to portray that character, if you will, that they are as an athlete at the next level, is essential. And let's face it, in today's day and times, economies are tough and markets are tough. Coaches and universities and budgets, they just don't have the money that they can send out 50 people to just go get in the car and have food and hotel and travel expenses to go find people. So when a coach can have his whole entire staff in his office, and they can log into a service such as Aim High Incorporated and start to build those relationships and find those kids and find those athletes to fill the needs at the university level, once again, there's no easier way to connect the student athlete to the college and vice versa. Myth: college coaches initially evaluate talent by attending high school games and watching unsolicited videos sent from students and athletes. The reality: you need a website with all of your personal information, including game film, stats, and all contact information. College coaches do a majority of their initial evaluation by looking at video requested or received from reliable sources such as Aim High Incorporated, often delivered online or digitally. After watching video, a coach may decide to make an in-person evaluation. Once again, we keep their game film or their game schedules live online. The coach at the university level will always know when he or she's going to be playing and exactly when he or she where they'll be playing at. So we keep all the information there. No one's ever in the dark. This next section, and it's a small section, but I can't speak enough volume about the content of being realistic. Being realistic, 76% of all options are outside of the Division I level. There are over 1,800 U.S. colleges and universities that sponsor collegiate athletics and are able to offer financial packages. More than 94% of those opportunities fall outside of the D1A level. Think about that for a minute. It goes back to what I was saying before. Every athlete wants to play on Saturday. They want to be in the spotlight. They want to play at the big programs. But when you look at the slice of the pie and the percentage and the possibility that dream can become a reality when not taken outside of the D1 level is very, very small. When you look at 94% of their possibility and opportunity falling outside of that Division 1A level, I mean, it speaks volumes. Once again, for a student athlete to be able to have the opportunity and have the power to send their profile all over the United States of America and touch every single college in the country multiple times, the financial security and availability speaks for itself. You know, the reason why we have such a high 84% succession rate today in our company, and the reason why we're able to save the average family a little over $18,000 a year in financial aid, is because of our process. It's because the kids, they want to be proactive. They understand what it takes for his or her to take her profile and actually use it. Go through that resource center. Use the tools. Use all the options. Use all the avenues and highways that Aim High provides for that student athlete. The ones that use the system, and I can't say it enough, that are proactive every single day are the ones that receive an unbelievable amount of financial support at the university level. But it's all about being realistic. You know, if you just want to play right here and you could care less of what you have out here, it's not going to happen. If you're open-minded enough, and if the families can be open-minded enough, and if we can portray that message strong enough, we can take that exposure from right here and automatically make it right here with the push of a button. And there once again is no easier way to connect the high school student athlete to the college coach at the university level in the nation. Your coach cannot get you a college scholarship. This is a big myth. A lot of athletes say, well, Coach Brady, I got to tell you, my coach says he's going to help me, and he knows some people that, he can contact on my behalf, and we can send some video footage or we can send some letters to, and, he really thinks that he's going to be able to get me some financial support. I got to tell you, that's great. But most college or most high school coaches, within their own network of connections and contacts at the university level, leave them 4 or 5, maybe 6 possibilities. And those possibilities are always usually local and within their own statewide connection. What we want to do is take that same ability and take those same contacts and once again put it nationwide. I'm going to read you something. The average high school coach has contact with fewer than 5 college coaches, and most of them are local. Bottom line, student athletes and their families are ultimately responsible for connecting with college coaches. Don't eliminate 99% of your options by relying solely on your high school coach. I can't say it any better than that. The proof is in the pudding. It's great that the high school coaches want to help. It's even better that Aim High Incorporated has a system that can take that help and put it to a whole nother level. Okay, I think we would all agree with that. And for the price of the product and the investment spent in the company, it speaks for itself, and the percentages speak for themselves. I'd like for you to flip over to